And then there are four. Hi, and welcome to the Hoop Scoop. I'm Probably Right. In this video, we'll look ahead to the Final Four NCAA women's bracket, previewing the matchups of the four remaining teams, how they got to the Final Four, and what it will take to propel them into the finals. Let's start with the number one overall team, South Carolina, who came into the tournament unbeaten in the regular season. This is no small feat, due in part to Dawn Staley, maestro conduction of the mostly young team that can sometimes appear unfocused, especially on defense. Let's look at how they got here. The way she has been able to instill confidence in Cardozo this year with the freedom of going out there and taking over the team, demanding the ball to set a tone early to also settle the team down. Coach Staley also have a group of young freshmen that have been dubbed the bench squad, showing up and taking over as if they were the starting five. The bench squad is responsible for winning at least 2 games in the tournament so far. Let's look at how they got here. In the first round, they faced Presbyterian, whom they discarded pretty quickly, 91-39, with Kitts securing a double-double of 21 points and 13 rebounds, and Johnson adding 4 assists. In the second round matchup, they faced North Carolina, whom they had played a very tight game in the regular season and narrowly escaped. In this game, Coach Staley went with the freshman for Wiley, who had played just 3 minutes in the regular season game and scored a total of 0 points. This time, she dominated against North Carolina, leading all scorers with 20 points, with Cardozo adding 10 rebounds and Pow 6 assists. In the Sweet 16 round, South Carolina would face the offensive-minded Indiana, who thus far had given them the biggest challenge of the tournament. They did manage to come away with the win, 79-75, dominating in the middle with 22 points and 7 rebounds. Johnson added 6 assists. In the Elite Eight round, they would face off against Oregon State. They were able to come away with the win 70-58. They were able to come away with the win on Johnson's 15 points, 6 assists, and Watkins' 14 rebounds. Their opponent in the Final Four will be another team from North Carolina State. There are some concerns going into this game. The sometime mental slippage of the team on defense, the tendency of Coach Staley to allow her team to struggle a bit too long when they find themselves in tight situations before calling a timeout and redirecting them. This NC State team, though it came into the tournament unranked, has shocked its opponents with its stifling offense that includes Zahia James hoisting up as many threes as she desires, rivaling that of Caitlin Clark, and the Robin to her Batman, Sanaya Rivers, fearless slashing to the basket, challenging the biggest of defenders for the layup and one. Both of these players, James and Rivers, are excellent passes and playmakers for their other teammates. Let's look at how NC State got into the Final Four. In the first round, NC State faced Chattanooga, beating them 64-45, with Isaiah James 19 points and Baldwin 11 rebounds and Brooks 5 assists. In the second round, they faced number 6 Tennessee, escaping that game 79-72. James scored 22 points and had 7 assists, and Baldwin pulled down 7 rebounds. In the round of Sweet 16, I'm sure everyone expected Stanford to come away with the win. Instead, North Carolina State took that game 77-67, James scoring 29 points, 5 assists, and Hayes contributing 10 rebounds. Next up for NC State would be the number 1 seed in that bracket. Texas. NC State came out, putting Texas in a state of shock as they took the game, with James scoring 27 points, grabbing 6 rebounds, and Sanaya and Rivers 5 assists. If South Carolina is thinking they're going to go in there and collect themselves an easy win, they may want to think again. For them to win, for them to actually come away with the win, South Carolina needs to stay focused and vigilant on defense. I look forward to the Battle of the Carolinas. On the other side of the bracket, we find Iowa Hawkeyes and the most decorated player in college basketball, Caitlin Clark, who thrives in the big moments, as she showed in the Elite Eight championship rematch against Angel Reese and LSU, dropping a double-double, 40 points, 15 rebounds, and 9 of 20 three-pointers. And if that weren't enough, Kate Martin brings experience to help settle the team and take over if Kate is being stifled on offense. And controlling the paint for Iowa is Hannah. She came out in the next 2 games providing Iowa with double-double. This team will be a tough out for any of the remaining teams. Let's look at how they got to the Final Four. Holy Cross, yeah. In the first matchup, Iowa faced Holy Cross, beating them mercilessly. Clark had a double-double of 27 points. In the second matchup, they would face West Virginia, whose coaches had aspiration and was determined and said as much to send Iowa and Caitlin Clark packing. West Virginia put up a good fight, but Iowa came away with the win, 64-54. And Hannah putting up a double-double of 12 points and 11 rebounds. In the round of Sweet 16, they would face Colorado. Iowa took that game 89-68, with Clark having another double-double, 29 points, 15 rebounds. Hannah also contributed a double-double of 10 in the Elite Eight. In the Elite Eight, Clark would face her nemesis, the rematch of last year's final versus Angel Reese and the LSU. Clark exacted her revenge on LSU, putting up a massive double-double, 41 points, 12 assists, and also led her team in rebounds with 7. Waiting for Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes will be UConn, Paige Beckers, and the mighty Coach Gino. And even though this team has not been full strength the whole tournament and has been counted out by many, including myself, they have shown that the talent that Paige Beckers brings and the experience of Coach Gino can outlast any team. Coach Gino has had his team ready to go every game this tournament with laser focus and awareness of there being only 8 of them and to not allow themselves to be drawn into foul trouble. Let's see how they got to the Final Four. The first round matchup for UConn was the feisty Jackson State. However, they were no match for UConn, who won the game 86-64, with Beckers putting up a near triple-double, 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists. In the second round, they would face Syracuse. Becker's talents was on display again, beating Syracuse 72-64, putting up 32 points, and 6 assists, with Alicia Edwards securing 11 rebounds. In the round of Sweet 16, they faced off against number 7 Duke, beating them 53-45, with Beckers contributing 24 and getting some help from Edwards with 7 rebounds, and Nika with 8 assists. In the Elite Eight, we would see UConn face off against USC and the freshman phenom, Juju Watkins. Though Watt came out and grabbed the early lead, Beckers was able to fight back, regaining the lead and holding it to the end of the game, winning 80-73. Beckers had a double-double in this game of 28 points, 10 rebounds, and Nika chipped in 8 assists. If it's Caitlin's job to guard Beckers, it's going to be a very long night for the Hawkeyes. Paige is very shifty, can get to the basket, and can also shoot the 3. For Iowa to win this game, they're going to have to send many bodies at Paige and also try to get UConn players in foul trouble and possibly foul out of the game. Difference makers are also going to have to show up in this game. Kate Martin, but especially Hannah, going up against Alicia Edwards in the paint. She's going to want to win the rebound battle. If UConn is going to win this game, they can't solely rely on Paige's offense because Iowa is a heavily offensive-minded team and Caitlin can match Paige's production herself. Alicia Edwards is going to have to control the paint, win the rebound battle, but she's also going to have to score at a high level. Nika is also going to have to contribute offensively. This is going to be a battle of offense and a very high-scoring game. What say you? Like, comment, and subscribe to help us grow the channel. See you in the next video.